Okay, so as we look at our calendar here, you're going to notice that we're approaching the end of the first week, and we do have assignments due at the end of the week. And I have to kind of laugh because when I went into the assignment that you guys did, the Canvas one where you had to like fill it in, and there was one point multiple choice question, and then there was one 3-part or like a 3-point question that you had to fill in. You must have been like, "Is this it? Is that it?" I must have not saved it because I'm like, when I opened it up and I was grading, I'm like, there's only 4 points. How come no other questions are here? So I don't know. I'm sure I screwed it up somehow, but there was supposed to be about 12 questions in there. You guys got lucky. I'm not going to redo it. I'm just going to go with it. So if you go in and you're like, is this all she wants? I did want more, but it didn't work out. So I'm not going to redo it. So there's just 2 questions. So everybody's been doing pretty well on that assessment. So keep handing them in. But yeah, that was a little bit of a fail on my part. So I know it was, I probably didn't save it right or whatever. So yeah, it is what it is. But then the other part of the assignment is going to be using Creo to create sketches. And I will tell you, all day long that knowing how to sketch well, and yes, we have 9 of them to do, and don't worry, we've got today, and remember target due dates, so you don't have to like stress about getting it in and losing any points, but you need to take the time to get the sketches down, because truly you master this and you get really good practice and confidence here, Creo becomes easier to use because you have to do a sketch for everything. Okay, you always start with that sketch. And if you skimp on this and you try to just gloss over it and just get through it, you're going to find later on you're going to be more frustrated. Okay, it's going to feel like you never really, gained that confidence. So take your time here. And yes, there is some. Don't stress about that due date, because remember, it's a target due date. We just have it as, it's module 1's assignment. So if you need extra time to work on it, take the extra time so that you can feel comfortable. Okay, so that's what we have kind of coming up end of day tomorrow. So we've got our 4-hour session today that we get to look at things. So what I do want to show you was some videos that I created. Hi, Bryce. Videos that I created out there, and I actually was spending time on that today. So if we go to our 3D parametric design class, and we go into our modules and we go down to module number 1, what I've done is I've added some specific recordings. Now they're sprinkled in to the introduction and to the sketcher, but I always put kind of like all of the recordings in order in the module session recordings if you wanted to like go straight there. So the first recording I have here is about 20 minutes, and it's just strictly on starting Creo, saving and closing files and going through that process. So it's about a 20-minute video, kind of pulling things up, doing that explanation. We've done this a couple times now, but it's there. Okay. The next one that I have here is the shear plate demo. It's not the one that we did in class. It's more of a, here's the parts of it. Okay. So I really kind of focus just on doing that tutorial or that demo. Then the next one in our list is the latch plate demo. I did a demo on this one. This one's again about 20 minutes long for each one of these. Then I've got the special cam demo, and then the adjustable sector demo. These are 4 of the 9 assignments that you have out there. Okay, now you still have to do them. It's not, I don't like to say it's an answer key, but I know there's little tricks and little things that have to occur in when you're getting things set up with your constraints and how you're putting things in. And I've tried to highlight those so that as you're going through, it's a nice double check for you as you kind of submit and before you submit, because sometimes that one weak dimension you can't get rid of. It's like, how do I get rid of it? So I tried to help you along in some of those areas to avoid some of that frustration. Okay, so those are out there. And then my job today is I'm going to take any and I want to continue to do some more demos for you guys in this module 1 assignment for the sketcher, so that you've got good resources out here, okay, that you can always like start, stop, go through, get any insights that you need, but then also here today, have me here to help you. So, so my plan is, because I did create the videos, we did the shear plates together last week, but if you need to go back over it, there's a nice video for you there. I've got the latch plate out there, the special cam, and the adjustable sector. So I want to actually look at a couple of the other ones. And then if you have questions, I can always go back and we can look at these as well. Does that sound fair? Okay. Now, as we are in Creo here, all right, I am not going to lie. It's not the easiest software to just like jump in and start going, especially, and I think sometimes, you know, you've got AutoCAD under your belt, but AutoCAD isn't parametric software. And the way we use AutoCAD's mouse is different than the way we're using Creo's mouse. So if you're using that middle mouse button to press down and you're trying to pan, can't do it. You got to do shift, middle mouse button, and pan. Okay. And you're twisting your screen sometimes. It takes a while. And then the interface is a little bit different, or the order that it wants to do things. But as you use that, and you, especially in the sketcher side of things, you're going to start getting used to how it actually works, just like you did with AutoCAD. Okay. So just be patient with yourself here in the beginning and take the time that you need, and then watch the videos, use them as a resource as well. Okay. So right now, before we start getting into specific demos, does anybody have, oh, I do want to point out one more thing. I do have one other thing. I added a discussion. Remember how last time I said, don't worry, you guys never have to do a discussion. This is, you don't have to do this discussion, but I am getting questions from students, and I have some students that they've been successful in installing Creo, and then others are like, I'm really frustrated. I've been spending 2.5 hours. I can't get it to work. So I created a discussion out here, and David put his step-by-step process. So it's installing. If you click on that discussion, I just asked if anybody has, you know, how they did it, if they could list their steps and maybe some things that were out there. And David was kind enough to do that. Thank you so much. So, so if you are struggling with how to get it going, this might be some place to try. The other thing that you can do as well, if you're putting it on a laptop, our help desk here by the hub can probably help you as well, and maybe take a look at it. All right. I'm not, I unfortunately am not a great person to ask, because I didn't load my software. My software came, you know, on my computer, and our help desk actually loads ours. That's why they might be helpful in helping you guys too, if you're not getting through it. Somebody did say that somewhere in a PDF is the license number in case you're looking for that. Is that right? Okay, so make sure that you, number one, use your WCTC email, and then check your email for, you know, some documents that come through, and then your license number. Is that what it's called? License activation or something like that?
When you press the download, it'll open a PDF. Click a download link.
Okay.
In that same PDF, you find the code.
Oh.
There's a bunch of bolded capital letters.
Okay, bolded capital letters in a PDF when you're in the download process.
I think the activation code is a universal one. So the one that I linked in the image you might actually just be able to use that. Not even.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Is it this one right here? Yeah, this one.
Farther down.
A little bit further. Oh, yeah. you added some stuff.
So on the second page of that image, that student BK9009, I'm pretty sure that was the same thing that I put in when I used it.
Okay.
So I think that's just a universal, it activates the student version. So that might just work for everybody, but I'm not certain. But
okay.
If anyone else used it, they can attest to it. Maybe someone else did it.
Did anybody else notice it was that same number? I don't know. It looks similar. Yeah, it's a pretty long thing, but yeah, and the key here is using your WCTC email and then following that string through there. And if it accidentally autofills, you got to go back and take care of that, because I know that happened to a couple people as well. So yeah, watch to be sure that the right email gets in there, because that's your proof that you're a student. Okay. So so yeah, thank you for those who put, oh, David, you put this one in here. Good. Hans, awesome. Okay, fantastic. All right, so so again, that's completely optional, and if you find that you need to you know, look at that and kind of reference it, go ahead. Again, having Creo off-site is not required. We always have it here, but I understand that it's very convenient, especially if you want to work on the weekends and when you're not here and you don't have to make the trip. It certainly is helpful. So so yeah, get that going if you choose to have that as an option, and you'll get it. It's just coming a little finicky sometimes, and it might not be the easiest to follow. Okay. Now I'm going to ask, does anybody have any questions, concerns, or anything at the moment before we get into things? Okay. All right, so then that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into things. So I'm gonna stop recording here and then we'll start with one of our homework problems.